Bad day for Biden. Apparently, he was at some speaking engagement where it looked like he thought he was still the president and said he was negotiating with world leaders and all kinds of craziness. You can't make it up. Y'all like the video right here. Follow for more updates. Check this one out.
We didn't ask for it. In fact, no one did. But right? Joe Biden is back. The former president spoke at a human resource management convention this week and appears to be suffering under the delusion that he's still the president.
President Biden said he's keeping busy in his retirement by still negotiating with world leaders.
How can you just walk away? I'm not, you don't see me out there publicly doing a lot of this. They asked to see me and I see them.
Maybe world leaders are suffering from insomnia and need a chat with Biden to fall asleep. Even here at home, Biden says he's chatting with Democrats and Republicans, perhaps to ask what actually happened during his time in office, because he's, quote, working like hell to write a whopping 500-page memoir by March, which is sure to debut near the bottom of the bestsellers list. But maybe Biden's memoir will finally reveal who was really running the White House during his term.
Hey, there you go.
One former DNC staffer believes Jill Biden was the puppet master.
Right.
Well, we may get answers soon as congressional probes are heating up. Former Biden officials are set to testify in the coming weeks, including Biden's physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, on Wednesday.
There you
Joey,
go.
I have an extremely difficult time believing that foreign leaders are calling up Joe Biden to ask for his advice on anything, let alone the goings-on in the world.
Yeah, I don't see it. I could see them saying we'd prefer Biden to be in office. I mean, Trump says himself, I don't blame them, but they were getting a better deal from the Democrats than they're going to get from me. So, I mean, there's that angle.
Right.
I think as a former president and a man who's aging, potentially not in good health, he's got to save the Biden name and relevancy because that's what they have to make money on, and that's what every president does. So go out and give speeches.
There you go.
And unfortunately, as a politician, you get to tell the story the way you want to tell it, not necessarily how it happened.
And Joe, the idea that foreign leaders are calling Joe Biden for advice when members of his own party don't want anything to do with him. Take a look at what Kamala Harris posted this past Independence Day weekend. Notably, in the original shot, Joe and Jill Biden were right next to them. This is the cropped image, intentionally left out.
Lord.
Wow, there's some symbolism there because that's exactly what happened with Joe Biden in July of 2024, 1 year ago, where we had a party that was talking about saving democracy. So what did they do? Their own party actually ousted a sitting president to install another candidate without one vote from any Democrats or the general public in general. So they talk about saving democracy, yet they're doing the Soviet-style installation. I saw in that package that we just played that Joe Biden is still negotiating with world leaders. What exactly is he negotiating? And is that proper for a former president to be doing, to be going behind the back of the sitting president now at this point? Either way, there needs to be accountability around this. If an auto pen, and we don't even know who was running the auto pen, was signing all these executive orders and running the country, we didn't know who was running the country because, again, that's not democracy. That is a shadow government, and we need answers and accountability. But I have a feeling the American people are going to be disappointed because nothing ever happens in these situations in the end. There's never any accountability.
Absolutely. And Arthel, perhaps one of the reasons why Democrats are sort of keeping Joe Biden at arm's length is because they also want to distance themselves from the mental acuity cover-up scandal. Listen to Representative James Comer discuss how Congress is going to hold those Democrats accountable.
I think what was going to happen when they all initially agreed to come in voluntarily was that they were going to plead executive privilege and not answer our questions. They don't have that. President Trump's waived it. They're going to have to answer our questions, and we will hold them in contempt of Congress.
A couple of names that stood out to me on the list of former Biden officials that Republicans plan to bring in: former White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who recently announced her exit from the Democratic Party, and also Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Biden's White House physician, who insisted repeatedly in public medical reports that Biden was all fine and well. What do you make of that?
Listen, President Trump won the 2024 election. President Biden is now the former president. So let's move forward. Why is Congress wasting money on doing these investigations on what Trump won? Let's move on. President Trump is running the country, how he sees best for Americans. So why are we wasting time on all of this? And by the way, as far as that crop photo is concerned, the former vice president was making a comment about her husband. She and her husband sharing the holiday together, and so that's why she cropped them out. And quite frankly, if we had a fourth child right now, I'm cutting all y'all fools out. Me.
Well, I do think the investigation matters because it's important. Americans deserve to know who was representing them for 4 years. If it wasn't Joe Biden, then who was it? Wasn't an unelected cabal of White House staffers?
You guys. You know that Joe Biden was not suffering the entire time. I'm just saying we're just wasting a lot of time.
Even if it's a day.
That's still a year. I don't know, and I'm not here speaking for Joe Biden. What I'm saying is that it's time to move on. President Trump won. There's so many things that our country needs to be focused on for the betterment of Americans. So let's
just never letting that happen again.
Let it go. I'm saying not spend so much time on relitigating what is in the past. And as far as whatever, really quickly, whatever as far as his
rob a bank, you're fine because it happened in the past.
President Trump has come in and undone and redone again for the betterment of the people as he sees fit. So he has the power now.